Michael Dawson had spent 12 years building his life one careful decision at a time. He wasn't flashy. He drove a 10-year-old pickup truck, packed his own lunch for work, and quietly invested every bonus he earned as a civil engineer. While his younger siblings spent freely, Michael saved relentlessly. By the time he turned 36, he had finally purchased his dream home, a beautiful property overlooking a small lake that had recently been appraised at $425,000. It wasn't just a house. It was the place where he planned to raise his 8-year-old daughter, Eva, after becoming a single father when his wife passed away 3 years earlier. Every room carried memories of rebuilding a life from heartbreak. Then came the surgery. It wasn't life-threatening, but Michael needed a complicated shoulder operation after a workplace accident. The doctors told him he'd be under general anesthesia for several hours. Since he couldn't care for Eva during recovery, his parents insisted on helping. "Don't worry," his mother said warmly. "We'll take care of everything." For once, Michael believed her. On the morning of the operation, he handed his parents a limited power of attorney. It authorized them to pay utility bills, collect mail, and handle insurance paperwork while he recovered. Nothing more. His attorney had specifically explained its limits. Michael even repeated them. "This isn't permission to sell anything." His father laughed. "What would we sell?" Michael smiled. "I'm just being careful." The surgery went smoothly. When Michael finally woke up, everything felt foggy. His shoulder throbbed. Machines beeped softly beside him. The first person he saw was his mother. She smiled nervously. "You're awake? How's Eva?" "She's fine." He relaxed. Then he noticed something strange. His parents wouldn't meet his eyes. His father cleared his throat. "There's something we need to tell you." Even through the anesthesia haze, Michael felt his stomach tighten. "What happened?" His mother forced a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "We made a business decision." Michael frowned. "What kind of business decision?" His father took a deep breath. "We sold your house." Silence. Michael stared at him. "I'm sorry." His voice was barely a whisper. "You did what?" His mother hurried to explain. "It was the best offer you're ever going to get. You were unconscious. So we handled it." Michael blinked several times, convinced he was still dreaming. "My house?" His father nodded. "It sold yesterday." Michael tried to sit up despite the pain. "You had no authority." "We had power of attorney." "For bills." His mother waved a dismissive hand. "Same difference." Michael looked horrified. "No." His breathing quickened. "No, it isn't." His father continued as though discussing the weather. "The buyers paid cash. They are moving in next week." Michael couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Why?" His mother smiled proudly. "Because now the money can finally help the whole family." Silence. "What does that mean?" His younger brother walked into the hospital room carrying coffee. "Perfect timing." He grinned. "Thanks again for helping us." Michael slowly turned toward him. "Helping?" His brother nodded. "Mom and Dad split the money." Michael's heart stopped. "What?" His father spoke matter-of-factly. "Your sister needed help paying off debt. Your brother wanted to expand his business. And we deserve a comfortable retirement." Michael stared at all three of them. "What about Eva?" Nobody answered. "What about her home?" His mother sighed. "You'll find another one." Michael looked as though the air had been sucked out of the room. "You sold my daughter's home. While I was unconscious." His father frowned. "You're overreacting." Michael reached weakly toward the bedside table. "My phone." His mother hesitated. "You should rest." "My phone." She reluctantly handed it to him. His fingers shook as he opened his email. There it was. A message from his bank. Another from the county recorder's office. Another from his attorney. Then his eyes landed on one subject line that made his blood run cold. Urgent, unauthorized property transfer, contact our office immediately. Michael looked up slowly. For the first time, there was no confusion on his face. Only calm. A calm that frightened his parents far more than anger would have. He looked directly at his father. You said the sale closed yesterday. His father smiled. Yes. Michael quietly locked his phone. Then he said 7 words that made every smile in the room disappear. Then you've just destroyed your own lives. The hospital room fell completely silent. Michael's father frowned. What is that supposed to mean? Michael didn't raise his voice. He simply looked at the attorney's email again. My lawyer warned me this might happen. His mother blinked. What? The limited power of attorney I signed was electronically registered with specific restrictions. His father laughed nervously. So it legally prohibited the sale of any real estate. The smile slowly disappeared from his father's face. Michael continued calmly. The title company should never have completed the transaction. His brother shifted uncomfortably. But they did. Michael nodded. Which means someone either ignored the legal restrictions, or someone falsely claimed authority they didn't have. No one spoke. Just then, there was a knock on the hospital door. A woman in a navy suit entered with a briefcase. Mr. Dawson. Michael smiled faintly. Right on time. She introduced herself. I'm Rebecca Hayes, your attorney. She looked around the room. I see everyone is here. Michael nodded. They've already told me. Rebecca opened her briefcase and placed several documents on the bedside table. Then she addressed Michael's parents. I've reviewed the transaction. His father crossed his arms. We had power of attorney. Rebecca nodded politely. You had a limited power of attorney. She slid a highlighted copy across the bed. The limitation is stated in bold print. His mother leaned forward. No authority to transfer, sell, mortgage, or otherwise dispose of real property. Her face turned pale. Rebecca continued. Despite that, documents were signed stating you possessed full authority. Silence. His brother swallowed hard. So, what happens now? Rebecca answered without emotion. The sale is legally void unless my client chooses to ratify it. Michael looked at her. I won't. She nodded. As expected. His father suddenly became defensive. The buyers already paid. Yes, Rebecca replied. They'll receive their money back. His mother whispered. But we've already distributed most of it. Rebecca looked directly at her. Then you're personally responsible for returning every dollar. The room became painfully quiet. His sister, who had arrived moments earlier, looked confused. What do you mean? Rebecca turned another page. The funds were transferred into multiple personal accounts. She looked at each family member. We have bank records. Michael's brother slowly sat down. I already spent mine on construction equipment. His sister looked terrified. I paid off my credit cards. His father stared blankly. We invested part of ours. Rebecca closed the folder. Then I strongly recommend you contact your own attorneys. Silence. Michael finally spoke. Do you know what hurts the most? No one answered. It isn't the house. His mother looked at him with tears forming. It's that while I was waking up from surgery, the people I trusted most were dividing up my life. His words hung heavily in the room. For the first time, no one tried to defend themselves. 3 months later, the court ruled that the property transfer had been unauthorized and invalid. The sale was rescinded. The buyers were refunded through a combination of insurance, legal settlements, and repayment obligations imposed on those who had improperly handled the transaction. Michael retained ownership of his home. But the financial consequences for his parents and siblings were severe. They were required to repay substantial amounts, and several civil claims followed over the mishandled transaction. The family relationships never fully recovered. One afternoon, after Michael had returned home, Eva ran through the front door after school. "Dad?" He smiled. "Hey, sweetheart." She looked around the living room. "We still live here." Michael knelt and hugged her. "We do." She wrapped her arms around his neck. "I was scared we'd lose our home." He held her a little tighter. "So was I." Months later, Michael planted a young oak tree in the backyard with Eva. She asked, "Why an oak?" He smiled. "Because they grow slowly." She nodded. "And their roots become so deep that storms can't easily knock them down." Eva thought about that. "Like us." Michael smiled. "Exactly like us." As they finished covering the roots with fresh soil, Michael looked at the home he had worked so hard to build. He realized something important. The house had survived because the law protected ownership. But his peace returned because he stopped confusing shared DNA with unquestioning trust. Some people inherit your name. Others earn your trust. The two are not always the same.